I apologize for all the dead Daleks, but welcome guys, welcome to a brand new video, and this video has been requested. Forgive me, I cannot remember your name, but I'll leave it on the screen up there somewhere, your comment. But thank you for the suggestion to do the 1983 TARDIS. So here I am doing it. So if you guys, if you wanna follow me, this is fucking haunting. So welcome guys to the 1983 TARDIS. This is used by the 5th Doctor, 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Really, it was used until the end of this classic era, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm very sorry about all these Daleks. Not really much I could do about them. But anyways, so we're going to be taking a look at this TARDIS. We're going to be taking a look at everything to do with it. But first, what we normally do is we have a look at what skins are available. We have the frosted one, and then we have this one, which is the Candyman TARDIS from the 7th Doctor's episode. Like I say, this TARDIS is used in multiple episodes. I believe it's Candyman. Is it Candyman? I can't really remember. I think so. After some quick googling, yeah, I'm correct. This is the Candyman TARDIS. But anyway, I'm going to turn it back to the normal colour, as, you know, we're going to be looking at TARDIS. So I'm going to go ahead and open the doors. It looks very, very beautiful in there. I apologise for FPS drops. For some reason, whenever I'm inside a TARDIS, my FPS does drop. I'm not sure why, but I apologise for that. But yeah, anyway, so we are going to be taking a look inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the sonic screwdriver on it. This is the 5th Doctor's, which wasn't used much. But I'm just going to do the classic TARDIS things on it, what I normally do. So if you hold left click on the doors, or anywhere on the box really, they open and close. And if you look up at the top and hold right click, the TARDIS locks and unlocks. There we go. We're going to unlock it. I'm just going to put my HUD back on because I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so we're going back inside. I'm going to close the doors. And here we have the console. It looks very, very beautiful in here. We've got the big double doors. We've got a coat hook here. We've got a window, which can't do nothing with the sonic. I just locked the TARDIS. But anyway, so we're going to be taking a look at the console. So on this panel here, we've got the repair, self-repair. We've also got the big door switch. We've got the DMAT switch. So I'm just going to close the doors. You guys probably know from my previous ones that I'm not a massive fan of having the doors closed. But for authenticity, for once in a while, I'm just going to leave it closed. So here we go. On this panel, we have the fast return switch. The manual destination selection. We'll cover all these in a moment, but I'm just showing you what they are. We have the ceiling, which is interesting. We'll get onto that in a moment. Visual UI, we'll get onto that. The HADS, the Hostile Action Displacement System, which we'll move on to very soon. The scanner window, the door lock and security. On this panel, we just have the cloaking device. And on this panel, we have physical lock, power, float and flight. On this panel we have Vortex flight, handbrake and coordinate. So that's the console, and that's what's on the console. Looks very, very beautiful. I love this TARDIS. It looks so nice. This isn't my primary one. It used to be. I used to use this one all the time mainly. But I've started using another one. Okay, so what we're going to start doing is we're going to start looking at what the panels do. So obviously on this panel we have the big door switch, which you saw. It opens and closes the big doors, which is very accurate to how it actually looks in the show. And it also closes with the left door going in first, and then technically the left door closing last and the right door closing first, which is very nice attention to detail as it does in the show. If we move on to this panel, I'm gonna mess with these in a minute. These are special. Let's do the self-repair actually. So if we get a gun and damage the TARDIS a little bit, hit the self-repair, it then powers down the TARDIS. We then have to leave the TARDIS. The doors will automatically close, and then after a few seconds it will finish self-repairing and it will be back to 100% power. If we move over to this panel, we have the fast return and the manual destination selection. We'll look at the fast return in a moment. But if we hit this, hit E on this, we will have a silhouette of our TARDIS. So if we go somewhere, I don't know, go somewhere the Doctor might quite like to go. Let's have a look around, see if there is anywhere. Okay, so I couldn't find anywhere that the Doctor would quite particularly like to go. So we are just going to, let's go over here to the power plant. So if we go over here and then click R on the keypad, it will then immediately snap to the nearest ground. And then if you click left on your mouse without trying to, you know, kill your TARDIS, we will get to that in a uno momento. If we come over to this panel and hit E on the security panel, it will turn on and off the isomorphic security. So in case anyone decides to steal your TARDIS in a multiplayer server, they won't be able to. If this is activated, they will not be able to touch any of the controls. The scanner window switch is interesting. If you press E, it then opens up the scanner window, and if you then click the visual UI window, it will then bring this window up, which allows you to put in some music with the URL, coordinates, virtual console, so you can actually control the TARDIS console just from there, the settings for the mod and the TARDISes, and then the scanner, which allows you to see outside and all around. There's all the dead Daleks behind us. Very, very interesting. Okay, so now if we go back over to the console and turn on the hostile action displacement system. So now, whenever the TARDIS is being attacked, it will then automatically dematerialize and land in another location if you have one set. If you don't, then it will just stay in the vortex and not leave. Okay, so the next switch is the ceiling switch. So you have this grey, bland ceiling at first, but if you hit the ceiling window, then it brings up these sort of studio lights, which is a really nice detail, because obviously this is what it would look like, you know, behind the scenes. If you hit it again, and then it just brings the normal ceiling back. This is pretty self-explanatory. It's the door lock, so if you hit that, it then locks the TARDIS door, so you or no one else can leave. So we're going to unlock the doors just to, you know, leave it unlocked. This is the cloaking system. So if I hit E on this and then walk outside the TARDIS, obviously you guys would have seen this in other episodes, but then the TARDIS is completely cloaked as if it's not even there. And then you hit E and you can see the doors. Obviously you just got to remember where you parked. And then you just turn, I'm going to turn off the cloaking system. This is the physical lock, so the only way to move the TARDIS would be to dematerialize. So by using the other modes, it's not able to actually move anywhere else. This is the power switch, so obviously you just press E, and it turns off the power to the TARDIS. Now these two controls are pretty interesting, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit E on the console, and as you can see, we're just in normal flight mode, but we can't fly. Now, you can either turn on flight mode by hitting E on this switch here, or when you're in this mode, if you press R, this then engages the engines. But wait, we've got the physical lock on. We can't actually move anywhere. So how are we going to be able to move? Well, if you press G on the keyboard, it then disables the physical lock, or you could just disable the physical lock from this menu here, from the console there. Obviously, the physical lock is now disabled, so we are now able to start flying. So if you just want to move W, A, S, and D to move around, that's it. We can have a nice little flight of the city. You can also then use Shift to speed up and go faster. So say we want to just go here for a minute. I'm going to hold Control to go down, and then I'm going to press R to turn off the engines. Now, if we press T, this engages float mode, which you can engage by hitting the switch here. Or if you're on here, if you press T, like I say, it then enables float mode. What will now happen is if I press W, A, S, and D in any direction, we then start to float. Pretty interesting as well. If you hit G, then it enables the physical lock, and we are now stuck in this position. Pretty interesting as well, because if I open the doors and try and hop out, the TARDIS is still stuck like that. So it's pretty interesting indeed. Again, I'm sorry for the FPS drops for some reason. I don't know why the TARDIS is having issues like that. I may have to uninstall and reinstall the mod, but it shouldn't happen for you. So I'm going to hit G again to disable the fizz lock, and I'm going to turn off float mode. Look at that, landed perfectly. Okay, another cool thing we can do is if we press F, the doors then open. Some maps, they are slightly glitched, so the doors don't always display correctly. You should be able to see the interior of your TARDIS though. Like I say, some maps it is a bit glitched, so you might see that cruddy like map area. But yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to this panel here. So say I wanted to set this as an area, I'm going to click on this panel here. And then I can either select manually, which is basically the same as doing this, which we did earlier. So it doesn't matter which way you do it. But say I want to save the position I'm in, I can press new. And then I can just set this as grey base. Oh, grey base plate. And click OK. It says use TARDIS current position and rotation. Selecting no will use the information on the input, so you have to input your own direction. I'm just going to click yes because I do want to save this area. And then there you go, that's now saved. So whenever I go on there, and in any TARDIS I decide to use, that will always be there. Now, this Vortex flight mode, what that does is when I dematerialize, it will either decide whether I will go straight to my destination, or I will travel through the time vortex. For demonstration purposes, of course, I will travel through the time vortex first. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit the demat switch, and we're going to take off and go to the location that I set earlier. As you see on the monitor, we are currently traveling through the time vortex. And if I press E on the console, I am in the time vortex, and I can actually do this as if I am flying through the vortex. Now, easy ways to try to get out of the vortex. If you want to pilot it manually, you can hit the demat switch again, or while you're in this mode, you can press left click on the mouse. And there we are. If we go outside, we have travelled to the area that I set previously. So that's pretty damn cool. I'm stuck in the doors. That happens quite a lot. Okay, so we've done that. But say we wanted to quickly go back to where we wanted to be. You know, let's go back to where we were before. You just want to fly around to this part of the console. I wonder what that noise was. You want to fly around to this part of the console and hit the fast return. As soon as you hit this, you will automatically take off. And whether or not you have Vortex flight enabled, you will automatically always go straight back to where you were before, regardless, like I say, regardless of having Vortex flight mode on or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to that... oh wait, we're on the grey base plate. Oh no. So what we are going to do is we're going to go into flight mode, hit R to turn on the engines, and we're going to fly up into the sky. Now another thing you can do in flight mode is if you hold left click on the mouse, the TARDIS will go sort of invisible, and if you get closer to an object, see there is a red cross? That red cross is where you will land. So say I wanted to land on that little building over there, very off in the distance. If I look at it and let go, we automatically then dematerialize into the vortex. Another thing while you're in flight mode, if you press R, right click on the mouse, it will then change your spin direction. So here we've got it set to none. This is clockwise and this is anti-clockwise. I like to keep it anti-clockwise because that is typically the direction the TARDIS travels in. We're going to turn off flight mode though, because we don't need it on. That's it, lovely jubbly. And then what we are going to do is we are going to left click to come out of the time vortex. That's it. The reason I was going up there is because I had flight mode on, flight mode, so that's why it was going up. So we have now materialized in onto this building over here, which was just over there. It's a weird sounding ceiling, but anyways. So we're going to go back into the TARDIS, and we are going to program another place to fly to. So if we go to, let's do it a different way. Let's go to the coordinates panel, select manually, and you'll be in this view. And let's go back to where all the Daleks are dead. Left click. And then what we want to do, I will say the handbrake doesn't do anything, just to point out. It's only for advanced flight mode if you're doing that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do Vortex flight. I'll do one more flight through the Vortex, and then I will do another flight without the Vortex, just so you can have a look. I hit the wrong switch. I don't know why you're watching this video. We're now in the time vortex. Sometimes it doesn't show properly on the monitors. There we go. Yeah, there we go. But if we open the doors, you can't really see much. But if I do this, and I turn us round and face the front, if I can do that. Usually, typically, you could see out of there. Sometimes, depending on the map, there's a visual bug. Yeah, as you can see, we're in the time vortex, and then we are going to dematerialize into the location we wanted to go in. And there we are back there. I don't know what that noise was. That was pretty interesting. Never heard that noise before. I don't know if that was anything to do with the TARDIS. That may have been on my computer. But what we are going to do now is we are going to do one more flight without the vortex, just so you guys can have a look at that. So we are going to do manual destination. We're just going to go over here, just for the purposes. And then we are going to hit the demat switch. Keep forgetting where it is. And that is it. We have moved from over there to over here. Well guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, then please leave a like. I hope you guys will forgive me for the absolutely cursed Peter Davison skin. This is the only player model they have in Gmod for the 5th Doctor, so I hope you forgive me. It looks absolutely terrible. But I want to thank you guys for the support on the other videos. It's been incredible. The support on the first Doctor's TARDIS one has been absolutely amazing. Sorry it took a while to get these ones out. I've just had a lot going on, especially with the creation of Doctor Who. I've just started a new job as well, so I've been working a lot. So I do apologise for taking a while to get this one out. I'm currently sick at the moment, so I thought I might as well take some time on, you know, my day off while I'm on like antibiotics and steroids, so I'm kind of hyped up at the moment. Yes, so I thought I might as well use the time I've got to get this video out to you guys. But I hope you guys, you know, I say guys a lot, don't I? I should stop. But yeah, I hope you lot enjoyed this fucking video. If you did, then please leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. And let me know what TARDIS you want to see next. I've literally got thousands. I haven't got thousands. I've probably got like 15 TARDISes. So just let me know what one you want to see, and I'll do it. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.